So hello everyone. This podcast is brought to you by Cyspace Computer Solutions. If you're having problem with your computer, if it needs repair, you want to reformat it, upgrade the operating system, or if there is a virus that needs to be removed, then you can contact Cyspace Computer Solutions in their Facebook page, that is Cyspace Computer Solutions. Also, this podcast is brought to you by MONAPHLORE Egg Poultry. If you want to buy eggs, you can contact also MONAPHLORE Egg Poultry. Also, they are selling rabbits and ducks. That is MONAPHLORE Egg Poultry. You can search that also in Facebook. They also have a Facebook page. And of course, my two sponsors are only available in the locality of Mankayan, Benguet, that is in the Philippines, and particularly in Benguet. Alright. So this podcast is a conversation with my co-teacher. So he's a very close friend of mine, and we just had a conversation about a lot of things, especially in teaching. And I would like to apologize already to my English listeners. The language that we use in this podcast is a mixture of English, Kankanaey, or our mother tongue, or native tongue, and Filipino. So I apologize for the English listeners who wants to listen to an English podcast. And of course, I would like to first and foremost say that things that we discussed here are purely our opinion, and we're not married to your opinion. We change your opinion as we have or we gather more data. So, thank you so much for listening. If you are enjoying listening to conversations like this, then this is for you. Thank you so much.
And let's science of politics, di ba?
Okay. Ngayon pa,
Recording ka na. We're recording, by the way.
baka yun ang mangyayari.
Balik tayo dun sa sinasabi mo kanina. So, how is it ang ako nam? Nagyay situation tata?
Yeah,
The kids learning?
if we are talking about competencies, maybe we are behind. But if we are talking of learning in life, which is most important naman sa mga bata, mas advanced ang mga bata ngayon. Why? Yung science ng pandemic, nandun na lahat. What we need to have is what we need to do is just to recap those when we go to face. And then one more thing, the rapid advance of technology, or even though na behind tayo, pero at least na-introduce na sa mga bata. Actually, they are rapidly advancing sa technology.
When are those are true sa mga advanced siguro?
Na even though in the cases
How about the case of
far-flung areas na
hindi and what I mean is those statement is true to students who are like, let's say, grade 6 pataas, or let's say grade 3 pataas, pero is it also true to the situation of kinder to grade 1 na usually non-readers?
I think so. Kasi ang mangyayari dyan in the future will be, that is what we've been doing nung bata ko. May ganun. So it is easier in the coming years now how to teach those things. They have now the hands-on experiences, or they have experiences today that they can relate in the future. It will make learning easier in the next coming years.
So you're saying, Garud, na walang nasayang?
Wala. Parang ang ginawa natin is naglagay tayo ng mga seeds na hindi pa tumutubo.
Okay.
Hindi pa natin nakikita yung result.
Nga madangay, tibas basap di agsa nga ako. I don't know, hindi ko nabasa pero it's an article in inquirer.net samat. nga yung Filipino learners have the lowest.
Oh yes, that's very good with the newspapers in the Philippines. It is always downgrading the achievement of Filipinos.
Yeah, but what if that's true? That our learners here as compared to other learners in other country.
Would you think in the other countries they do not have the same problems as what we encountered?
Well, I don't know because if you're going to compare ourselves, di ba, makikita tayo mo nga, Thailand already opened up schools. United States, Texas, the state of Texas already opened the school.
Well, they opened their schools, but then, with the, yung ginagawa ng DepEd, I think we can still say nga, they are ahead, a little step. We will follow very soon.
But, wala kayang long-term drawback?
There is always...
There will there be a a drawback in the long run? You say, in the future, will this, it's like, stagnate tayo ngayon?
Oh, the whole world is
No, not
stagnant.
the whole world. I don't think.
Pero ganito yan. Yung sinasabi ko nga, na when you put a seed in a fertile land, hindi yan tutubo agad-agad.
Okay.
There will come a time na yung growth niyan biglaan. So, okay, ngayon, yung ibang mga bata, they're growing. Tayo hindi pa. Tapos mamaya na lang, biglang bubulusok. Pag ang mini-measure kasi natin yung ilang subject ang natapos, ilang competencies ang na-achieve, behind tayo. Pero ang sinasabi ko nga kanina, yung mga discipline ng mga bata, yung mga experiences nila during this pandemic will help them boost learning in the future.
So, in your opinion, okay lang na because as per the pronouncement of the president, it is still impossible for the next school year to have face-to-face learning.
I am in one with him na yung point dito is that if we are going to open and there will be a surge, baka instead na 1 year ang isa-sacrifice natin, baka maging 3 years. So, ang point lang doon is that we keep safe the children and then hopefully we can return back immediately to normal. Kasi if we open agad-agad and then in the future or in the near future biglang darating yung mga surges, baka we will take longer.
Pero as looking at the data, parang hindi naman masyadong affected yung mga bata sa COVID-19.
Well, because maybe the measures of the government is an effect.
So effective ang distance learning
And
in terms of education,
the quarantines,
in terms of
yes, the
controlling the spread of the virus.
Yes, not the education, but kasi wala tayong data na nagsasabi na it's okay if the children are going to school, hindi sila affected. Meron affected yan. Trangkaso yan eh.
Meron affected, pero in terms of the death rate, dagaminti and don't quote me in this, I'm an idiot and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not a doctor, pero may naririnig ako na usually yung death rate is to people with comorbidities.
Oo.
Not so with the children, and sometimes children who have COVID-19
Yes.
asymptomatic.
Yes.
So asymptomatic means that they can handle themselves, right? And yun ang reason ng Texas why they opened their schools.
But wait, I will pause you there. If we are comparing death rates, mas mataas pa ang death rate ng dengue, ng diabetes.
Kaya nga.
Pero, ang hindi natin sinasabi, ilan ba ang ginagasto ng COVID-19 patient?
Because
Di ba? ang sabi nila, well, the PhilHealth is there to help you, but then PhilHealth cannot provide everything.
And one of the reason is there are some research that actually even the government of the United States is ignoring in terms of treating COVID-19. Kadungdungag ko dito, very it's very disappointing to listen to it. Kaya nga sinare ko sa Facebook yung it's a podcast with a doctor and a what do you call it? A biologist. I don't know what the exact term is. Theoretical biologist or evolutionary biologist, something like that. Nga na found out during the dito nga they're doing research as in real time. And then they found out nga I don't know, no kabila di tudukon ti steroid sa J lungs, it helps. It was ignored by the so-called authorizing body in terms of health, WHO or something like that. Rinomore dito ivermectin. It's proven to be effective in treating a patient, especially at the early stage of COVID. No, halimbawa, you just contracted the COVID and you take it, it's very effective. All of them, they have, I think, 14 papers. They submitted that papers telling that it's effective. At the same time, it's effective as prophylaxis. I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Prophylaxis, tiket na samot ngayot, to prevent,
yes.
Ngayot, it's also effective. Ivermectin, parasitical drug. Nangabak ti Nobel Prize in 2015. And di ba naging issue mo lang dito di last? Ngayot, DFAD, ibagbagada, it's not, I don't know, it's not registered in the Philippines.
No, what is registered in the Philippines is that the ivermectin for animal use.
Yes.
Now, they have an ivermectin for human, but then it needs to be reformulated for human. So that is what FDA is saying. Pero ganito yan, no? Well, the government is conducting a ivermectin trial.
What I'm saying here is, napalusot natin agad yung vaccine na napakamahal. And here comes this drug, unpatented because wala na yung patent. So, it means very cheap na siya. And then, why are we're like trying to turn a blind eye on this research. And we are truly concentrating on the vaccine. What's the reason for that? Bakit? Dahil ba sa, medyo, agpanunot na ngayon, maminsan.
Though, siguro, the best way to deal with that is that vaccination of SARS-CoV started nearly 10-15 years ago. They were not able to come up with medicine. What they were able to come up with to start the is not on treatment but rather on vaccination. Doon lang siguro nagkakatalo, but hopefully as we can see naman, siguro naman we hope to go with COVID in the next
So, yun ang kasi if we will try that one, at least, because my focus here is syempre dun sa trabaho natin, the learning. Or in my view is we're being stagnated in terms of competency and whether we like it or not, it's what the children needed. The competency that we're trying to teach them, the skills or things about science, things about math, which is a little bit difficult for the parents to teach. And tikas lamot nga focus.
You know what? That's doon siguro nagkakaiba yung approach ng mga teacher dyan eh.
Right.
Kasi sa akin, if you insist that the parents cannot give everything sa learning ng bata. Ang sinasabi ko sa kanila, do not force yourself. What is important is that they were able to read, write, and at least analyze sa isang araw. Now, at the end of the day, whether you let the children work with you, you help the children with with the modules, at the end of the day, it's not what the children answered. The last question that you should be asking. I'm telling this to my parents. Anya ka di tinaadal mo? That's the question that we need to always ask. What did you learn? Yung sabi lang ng bata na, ganito pala ang sentence. That's enough. But if you would be forcing the children to answer from front page to back page, I think doon tayo nagkakatalo sa distance learning.
Very true and so appropriate if you're teaching elementary grade. How about in the secondary, wherein you're trying to prepare them?
It's like this.
To be a young adult.
It's how we interpret modular teaching, modular learning. Kasi ang mindset kasi ng mga teachers is nasa classroom pa rin sila na ganito ang ituturo ko ngayon at the end of the lesson, at the end of the period, ito dapat ang maisasagot ng ito dapat ang learning na nakuha natin. Sa modular kasi, the learning should take place on the face of the child.
So, whether they did not answer the module or they answered it with, and there's a lot of error in it.
Yes.
There's still the seed of learning na nandun. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes. Even if it's wrong, yung sinasabi ko kanina na, yun yung learning na hindi natin binimeasure or na wrong nga yung ginawa ng bata, but the idea na he did his best to answer the module, that is a very good
learning na yan.
Learning na yun.
Yeah. Anyway, still a developing issue.
Yes.
Whether we are going to go face-to-face or not.
Yung usapin kasi ng modular is this teaching method that we are doing today, parang usapin ng ano bang nauna? Itlog o manok? Okay. There's no exact answer.
Ang ano ko kasi is my issue here is because it's modular and we have seen how difficult it is.
Yes.
Printing pa lang. Yes. Development pa lang nagkaka-issue na before. And why not if you're in the elementary, especially so in 1, 2, 3, kas lang iti lang ati view, an idiotic view. Why not just focus on reading and writing? Reading has a lot of levels. So let's start with just reading words in, say, kinder things, and then go up. You focus there until grade 3, and then is lang ay kung mga complete overhaul of the curriculum before we started. Because yun nga, inted mo jay, ang nakikita kong issue dito is inted mo jay, say for example, may subject mape. Ngayon ti point of view ng Arami di kat answeran dati 1 hour. Mabor yung iman mo tya ubing. So my point there is listen the work. Let's focus on reading only. So yung mga teachers na mawawalan ng subject, say for example yung EPP hindi naman masyadong kasapulan. Especially so na when it comes to household chores, andun naman yung bata na that's already a learning. Yun naman na ituturo sa ano, di ba? And why not just focus on this reading and writing arithmetic for the meantime? Hindi naman lagi-lagi for the meantime.
Ang naging mali lang kasi dyan, hindi, it's not mali. Ang naging
let's use the word issue.
Okay. Ang naging issue lang naman kasi dyan, meron tayong mga opisyal sa DepEd na masyadong magagaling. They were not able to turn their head at least 180 degrees. At tignan nila yung curriculum natin before. Actually, distance learning is not new. Mindanao have done it
During the war, no. Yeah, in
bef-
the
pre-pandemic.
pre-pandemic.
Yes, actually, it's where I'm getting my learning resource when I'm teaching for
Yeah.
grade levels.
Pero ngayon, bawal na. I'm informing you na bawal nang kumuha sa other regions.
Bawal,
As-
bawal kung bawal. Yes, that is very wrong with the Department of Education. Bakit mo ipagbabawal kung yun ang available? At it is easier for me to download. Kasi alam mo ang nangyari sa modules ng DepEd Cordillera?
Mm.
Sobrang hindi ko maintindihan. Pinapahirapan masyado ang mga bata.
Ang ano ko din, again, to those who are listening here, these are our idiotic reactions, and this is a podcast, so we are entitled, I guess, are we entitled with our own our
Yes,
own opinion?
and actually,
so this is our right.
Clyde warned me
Yeah.
already with this, but for me, it's for everything to hear a simple idea or a simple issue from the ground
Yeah.
for them to at least reconsider.
And we are doing our job. But, we follow. we just voice our opinions. And yun nga, ang issue is
And it's like this. When we talk of, I agree with you with what you said a while back. Tatlo lang dapat ang kino-concentrate ng primary
especially
grades.
in the lower level,
Yeah, kinder, grade 1, grade 2.
especially this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yun nga ang sinabi ko na masyadong magagaling kasi ang nasa Department of Education. For me, giving all those competencies sa mga hindi pa alam bumasa, hindi pa alam sumulat, nagkakaroon ng problema because hindi yung mga gumagawa ng programs natin, hindi ko alam kung meron silang neighbors na nag-aaral. Siguro yung mga neighbors nila complete with computers,
yeah.
with internet.
So they can do with Zoom. So it was never in their mind that there are some places in the Philippines who does not have internet. As
Yes.
example, as this place.
Yes. I handle grade 3 and grade 4.
Yeah.
In the first weeks of first grading, actually it's the whole first grading, I did not use the modules of DepEd. What I gave them is
Allegedly.
coloring material, yung artwork, coloring, reading text, those things. It's very simple things.
Yeah.
Because if, in my mind, if I will attack with what DepEd gave me during that time, of course, we know our situations nung first grading, no? Giving the situations that we are in, and, well, we do not have materials to print, I did that, and the children are very happy.
I remember first grading, the leadership is of Benguet is very idealistic that time. So
What did you say? Idealistic? Chaotic?
no, idealistic. There's a little bit of a problem on the leadership, but anyway, we still followed. We're
Yes.
still good soldiers.
Doon pumapasok yung
We have our ways.
Innovations and
we have our
initiative of
ways. We have our
teachers.
innovations, and we never complained.
We never complain, but they always question us with what we're doing.
We never complained. We do things. We do what they want, and we never complain. So one of the attributes of a
No. We always complain, but we do
to
not.
ourselves.
We do not voice out our complaints. Yes.
We complain to ourselves. And one of the great attributes of teachers is doing things even if they question it.
Yeah.
Doing it, and not just doing it well. That is one of the great attributes of a lot of teachers here. And I don't know if I'm one of them, but that's one of So, yeah, yung sinasabi na, what would you say if somebody is trying to ask you for an advice on becoming a teacher, what will you advise them?
Oh, becoming a teacher, go
yeah,
ahead.
they want to be a teacher, and what should I do? What is your advice so that they will not be burnt out in the first year of teaching?
For me, I did give an advice like that. Somebody, a graduate in high school, in May, apan nag-ila ko actually. That's the learning at this time. Napan nag-ila ko. Vegetables ata yung paninda nun. And asked me a question. I would like to become a teacher. And then, what will she do? So I asked, anya ti in-enroll na. Sabi niya, he is planning to enroll elementary ed. So my advice is, don't get elementary education.
Yeah. Nabasak na ito. And tell me why. Sabi niya, let me just, for those who are listening and watching, ang sabi niya sa post niya noon is, for those who are wanting, for those who are wishing to be a teacher, you don't ever try to go and take bachelor in elementary education. Go to bachelor in secondary education instead. Why?
Now I changed the, not bachelor of secondary education, but rather go to other courses. Like for example, agriculture. Take agriculture.
Oh, so it was changed ngayon.
Yeah,
okay,
after a year, it was changed. Take other courses, not education. And yes.
Okay, why?
Maybe related to science, maybe agriculture, engineering, those things related to science.
So this is the advice. Take any 4-year course but education, right? Not,
not education.
Yeah, take any 4-year course but education. So why is that?
Because after you graduate and have license sa 4-year course na yon, you take at least 18 units ng education.
Okay.
You do not need to go practice teaching.
Yes.
You do not need to go defending your thesis. Just 18 education units.
Right.
And then, you take licensure examination for teachers.
And if you pass?
And if you pass, you can apply for secondary and elementary teacher. Pwedeng secondary, pwedeng elementary ka mag-a-apply.
That is what's crazy with DepEd, right?
And then they will tell us na
with the, I mean, not with DepEd, but with the hiring.
With the hiring.
At the same time, with the course that we had.
Yes.
Tayo lang yata ang pwede kang mag-18 units and then you can we do that in engineering? Can we do that in nursing?
Oo nga.
It's the
diba?
Yeah.
And then, ang problema ngayon, meron akong hindi lang isa. Lahat ata ng nakasama ko sa paaralan na pinapasukan ko ngayon, it's not elementary education ang kinuha.
Really?
Rather, secondary or other course.
Really?
Yes.
And they're teaching the elementary.
And they're teaching an elementary.
Permanently.
You know what I did?
Yeah.
You take grade 1 and kinder.
Why is that?
So that you will learn how to teach. The hardest grade to teach is kinder and grade 1.
In terms of attitude, but once na
they're breaking.
Yeah.
But doon na tayo pumapasok. As, a support group sa ating co-teachers, no?
Yeah.
Because if I will not do that, the heck, I'm making fool of myself if I will not be teaching them how to teach.
So for those who are listening and don't know, one of the reason why sinabi mo yung advice mo din is both of us are graduate of bachelor in elementary education.
Yeah.
When you want to go to DepEd, the competition is so tight.
Yes.
It's very difficult to get in. And especially in our area, I don't know with the other regions, other provinces. At the same time, it is allowed for teachers of the secondary education or for people who graduated as secondary teachers to apply in the elementary.
Yes.
Right?
Hindi. Everybody who have license to teach can actually apply in the elementary grade.
With the exception of those who graduated in, I mean, anybody who has license, yun ang sabi mo, di ba?
Yes.
Anybody who has a license can apply. License for teaching can apply in the elementary,
Yes.
but elementary teachers cannot apply for
Yeah.
secondary. Secondary teachers can apply. So, ang advice ko rin is yes, if you really want to be a teacher, you take secondary education. Why is that? You can apply for senior high school.
Yes.
You can apply for secondary high school. And of course, you can apply, medyo pahirapan lang, especially if you're a neophyte, pahirapan lang sa senior high. Because there are some credentials that you need to have to be able to have a high points in senior high. When there are credentials, I guess, that
I think even if you do not have a license to teach,
in the
you
senior high,
can
especially
teach senior high.
in-
So long as you have
you have the skills in
NC2 and
yes,
NC3
yes.
trainings.
But still, if you are a teacher who graduated as a secondary teacher, you can apply for senior high. Your field of choice is a little bit wider, I guess. Junior high, maybe you have an 80% chance to get in there, and then elementary. And if you're in your area, senior high and junior high is not available for you, you can apply for elementary. And elementary teachers who graduated in the elementary education can only apply for elementary. Yeah, and that's difficult. That's what we're trying to say here. That's what we're trying to explain here. That it's a little bit crazy.
And the more crazier is this.
Yeah.
Here in Benguet, it is more prerogative that they employ secondary graduate
Well, I don't know about that. But
comparing to elementary.
I don't know about that.
I
but
can vouch with that. That's the hell with the department we have.
It's a question. Hello. It's a question that we're having right now, but then it's the rule. We gotta follow it. But then the advice for youngsters there who are trying to go and join us here in the Daped family. And again, we're not here throwing muds to our department, but then we're just voicing out what we are saying. That is
aside from taking, well, my point here is this: don't concentrate too much in the elementary teaching.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it is better for youngsters to explore the world.
And so you advise them to get any 4-year course.
Yes, you need to explore all exposures that you can have in all fields. Because in elementary, you are not a master of a thing.
Yeah, you're a generalist.
You're a generalist. You need to know everything.
Yeah.
You're a jack of all trades.
Yun, one of the problem also na nakikita ko dun is, especially with what you said, you opened my mind sa sinabi mo kanina na yun na 18 units. Ganun lang ba kadali ang pagtuturo? And I'm asking you, you're a teacher, so I'm asking you this. Is it enough? 18 units is enough?
Let us ask yung nagpapabida ngayon na tatakbong senator na si Armin Luistro nung ipinasok nila ang K-12 law.
Okay.
Because lahat ng problema natin ito ngayon is because of the definition ng basic education sa K-12.
I haven't read that one. Just explain further and then
kasi sa basic education, it did not specify na if you are a graduate sa elementary ka lang magtuturo. Pero sinabi niya doon na lahat ng graduate ng secondary pwedeng magturo sa elementary. Doon tayo nagkakatalo-talo. And ngayon, nagkakaroon tayo ng problem sa ating departamento kasi yun nga.
May kakilala pa ako dito na 10 years. Santo ka? Dindindamos na't maalakas yung camera. 10 years ha? Hanggang natatahan pa lang anahay.
No.
Elementary education graduate.
12 to 15 years.
Meron pang gano'n.
Dito lahat sa Kulaluyan.
Ay, saya.
Yes. I will name names.
Sure.
Mrs. Yung Anto.
Shout out. Is this yung
Yes, binita yung ontok nearly 15 years. Permanente na siya noong 40 years old, 45, something like that. Doon lang siya ma-permanent. She's the oldest applicant na na-permanent.
May kasabay ba siya na ano?
And then, Annabelle Palitog took 20 years ata kay binita yung 15 years kay Annabelle. And then kay Jessa, 12 years.
Wow.
Dito lahat na-concentrate sa
By the way,
Kulagulan.
we just want to bring it out this point this out. Tell you, we don't have anything against people applying or secondary teachers applying in the elementary. Wala po. We're just observing. We're just saying we're not hating on you guys.
Alam mong nangyari nung nag-post ako na the heck getting elementary education na yun. When I go out sa streets, yung mga dating kakilala kong secondary teacher applicants, hindi na ako kakilala. Inaayawan ako. We are not against you. We are against the system.
We love you guys, and because the system allow it, you can apply as much as you want. Even those who have 18 units, we have nothing against you guys. You love teaching, and welcome to the world of teaching. But then, yun lang naman ang sinasabi namin.
Ngayon yun ang ina-advise namin.
Welcome to the world of, and yun ang sinasabi namin. So that mas malawak ang chance nyo to come in and join the world of teaching, you follow the advice of Sir of Jan Irvin. Take any course. Kung bakit take any course that you want, at least you have widened your horizon.
Yes.
May learning ka sa course na nakuha mo, and at the same time, kasi nga napakadali lang magturo eh.
Yes,
you can just have 18 units and you can teach. So, and at the same time, you can share what you learn in that 4-year course to the world of teaching. Di ba?
Kasi ang nangyayari sa...
Again, we have nothing against you guys.
Sa elementary ngayon, no? The teachers employed sa elementary. Kasi nga, we are jack of all trades, master of nothing. So, everything we should be, at least have a little knowledge about it. Ang nangyayari ngayon, kung ikaw ay aktibo o willing kang you go through the process of learning while teaching, you need to do it. Ang nangyayari, ikaw ang may alam niyan. Ikaw ang may energy pa na
Uubing
ka. Or no, not really. May energy ka pang gustong matutunan yan. Karamihan, pinapasa sa may mga skills, may mga technical know-how. So, it is on your advantage if you have widened your horizon.
At the same time, you will be sharing your expertise with us. At kaslangay nga ma-vary dun magiging what do you call that? Magiging mix na yung mga talent na nandun sa teaching family sa DepEd kung ganun din ang mangyayari. So there's a plus to it. There's a good thing about having an 18 units regardless of the course going into. So may plus, walang
Oo. Actually, kung titignan natin ang nangyayari, lahat ng program ng government, adapted yan sa elementary. So, when the government wants to boost agriculture, sigurado na may program sa elementary na pagiging agriculturist.
All of the agencies na nagko-connect sa DepEd, sometimes iniiwan yung trabaho sa
sa mga teachers na.
So nagiging nursery teacher sometimes. Nagiging and it's very good kung meron tayong teacher na kumuha ng 4-year course, na kumuha ng nursing. Right? We can have that. May mga teachers tayo na kumuha ng IT programming, which is very needed right now. coding, those who knows how to write programs. Needed ang mga yan ngayon in the world of education.
Yung mga IT specialists ngayon.
So it is really then advised that take any take any for your course then. Thank you. For those who are listening, nandito nakikisalamuha sa amin yung anak ni Sir Jan. And ano yan? Sa ano naman? Sa pag-apply sa DepEd. What are the things that a teacher should need? Advice mo sa mga papasok pa lang. They are already a graduate. Yeah.
Meron na siyang lisensya. Yung nga sinasabi ko na once you widened already your horizon, punta ka na sa school. Ask what is needed. Ang daming mga folders, application folders. Meron pa nga ang kapal-kapal ng folder na binigay noon nung ako pa nagiging sa pang-aktibong teacher in charge. Pero ngayon, hindi na. Passive na. So, ang ginagawa ko, tinatanggal ko lahat ng mga hindi kailangan. Ang dami nilang trainings na hindi 3 days, mga ganon. So, the trainings that they sinasabi pa sa akin, na yung trainings na yun, nagbayad sila ng fee just to get a
for
training.
Computer training?
Oo.
1,000.
Pero hindi naman credited. So, first thing first,
teaching basic.
you need to see the documents that you're passing. It should be credited. And then do not just limit yourself sa teaching. Any trainings will do. At least three.
Have something or a skill outside teaching.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say. Yeah. Have a skill that is not found in the realms of teaching. Experience ko lang iding ngayon kahit ko nga mas lakay nga madik na nga nag-impis dyan. So nga, mamin nga, kung conforming nga certificate, amok angan nga an nga ma-validate.
Well, if your point is like this, you need, in making your folder,
at the same time, I'm just trying to let them know.
in preparing your folder kasi, it's not you need to make a story out of it.
Yeah.
Lahat ng nilalagay mo doon, may rason.
Yeah.
Maybe, I will put this even though walang credits, pero
For them to know me.
for them to know me,
That's my reason.
that's the skills that I have, yes.
That's my reason. Dapat tinagakabili yung
But then, it's like this.
2007 champion kickboxing.
Dahil iti kagurgurak.
Looking back, I'm so... I don't know.
Sometimes, when you look on the applications folder, application folder of applicants, you're intimidated.
Yeah.
Yung baga sasabihin mo na mas magaling pa to or mas credible ba to kaysa sa akin. Pero pagpunta naman tayo sa
In reality, actual, yeah.
lahat ng nilagay mo sa folder mo dapat at
Kaya mong
least
gawin yan.
hindi ka man eksperto, kaya mong gawin.
You have the know-how.
Alam mo ba nung ang dami computer 15 days training.
15 days training.
Ako wala akong training eh. Tapos ginagawa sa akin table, Microsoft Word na table. Result yon ng district nagpa-type. Alam mo ba yung ginawa ng isang
Nag-training ng 15 days?
15 days to 1 month? Kung nag-draw a line, ilang table at ilang columns yun. It took, ako noon, siyempre tayo,
Nag-draw ng line sa Microsoft Word
sa Microsoft
to
Word,
create a table?
great, instead na punta ka sa insert table, no? Draw line. Isang oras lang natapos ba?
Wow.
Sabi ko, anong silbi ng napakarami kang certificate?
Ano, tadete, inadal that 15 years. 15 years.
Yun ang isa sa mga challenges sa mga new applicants na do not put something there na hindi mo kayang gawin.
Because it will come and bite you back in the ass. I'm
Yes.
telling you. Yeah.
Especially if you find
You put something there, you have to know how to do it.
maswerte ka kung hindi kasing bangis ni
Jan Irvin.
Mr. Clyde Sakpa ang nag-i-evaluate sa folder mo.
No, ni Jan Irvin timang evaluate. Malas nyo. Promotion, indefinite. What's your view?
No, it's not indefinite. In Benguet,
Okay.
we are very fun
Here we go.
sa term na prerogative. Kasi nga, it is sanctioned by civil service and the DepEd itself. It is-
Prerogative, by that what you mean is?
so long as the appointing authority wants you, you're in good hands. Unfortunately, if people like me who question everything and who reacts on everything, naku, wala kang mapapala kahit ikaw ang rank 1.
Okay.
Kahit talo mo ng 10 points ang mga iba dyan.
Yeah, to explain, sa ranking is in the civil service guideline. Don't quote me here because I even didn't read it, but I heard it from other people. That the appointing authority has the prerogative, right? That's the word.
Yeah.
To choose from rank 1 to 5, right?
No, to
Is it-
those who are qualified.
Yeah. Pero from 1 to 5, is it?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
So long
as long
you
as
are
they're qualified.
yes.
Okay. So that is what sir is saying
Kaya
here.
kasi ganito yan. Sa kasi ranking sa promotion. May mga trainings dyan, length of service,
Yeah.
and other things. The things that you've been doing.
Education.
Yeah.
If you have your postgraduate, that's a big point.
Eh, narank yun from
Yeah, all of you were
all
ranked,
of you.
right?
Yeah. That there is a certain limit, yung qualified. So, sana wala nang ranking. Ang definition na lang sana is qualified and not qualified.
So you are in favor of that ARF thing. At least you're competing with yourself, right?
Yes.
ARF, yeah.
But then, that is an obsolete one. The ERF.
I thought it's coming back.
We are just adapting.
It again.
It's a Marcos time regulation pa yan. You see, tignan natin ang PNP, tignan natin ang AFP. Diba? They are more concentrated on their work, not piling up their folders
For promotion.
for promotion. Doon
Hindi ako knowledgeable isa.
doon dapat tayo magpo-focus
Yeah.
on our work, not on our promotions. Ano yung nangyayari ngayon? Kasi ang dami nating mga regulations, tapos kahit na pinasa mo lahat ng mga qualifications na yon for promotion, tapos mamaya ang sasabihin sa'yo, oops,
Movies.
you are not the prerogative of the appointing authority. Bagsak ka din. So,
At the same
it's
time,
useless.
Yeah, tama yung sinasabi mo na I think not all. I would say all of us are working hard for our children, but then most of the time parang syempre lahat naman tayo gustong may promote, di ba?
Okay, economic-wise.
Yeah,
Yung post nga ni Tupit Doro sa DepEd,
Stupid Doro.
it's a activist, a teacher activist, isang DepEd.
Kasama mo?
Hindi. Sabi niya, dalawa lang kailangan ng sa ating trabaho. Ang bata, ang kailangan nila ang teacher. Ang teacher, ang kailangan nila ATM. Yun lang yun. Huwag natin iba-iba. He is speaking in relation with the RPMS.
Yeah. What is about the RPMS?
The RPMS, the thing that we are been doing just to, self-evaluate ourselves.
Yeah, and the funny thing there is that I don't know if saan mo nagagamit 'yan. Yung MOV. I practice mobile photography. I take a lot of pictures, but I'm not fond of taking a picture of myself doing something.
I know.
At times it is a little bit egoistic.
Yun kasi ang problema eh. Iba yung sinasabi ng ating mga boss sa sinasabi ng RPMS. The RPMS does not require you to take picture of yourself doing your work.
I have not read the guideline.
But
Sorry. I am not informed.
Yung RPMS, yung grade mo kasi doon, yung numerical rating mo doon,
Yeah.
nagagamit mo yun for promotion.
Yeah.
Ang problema, ganon, kung minsan, ganon kakapal ang RPMS.
Because they're expecting you to show something.
So,
And you cannot validate that a teacher who had that kind of picture really did the work or
ito ang nakakatawa.
walang credible na validation.
Hindi, ganito ang nakakatawa. Ang dami-dami nating pine-prepare for that document. Pero sa iyong experience, meron na bang pumunta sa na nagsabing, "Oops, mali itong ginawa mo. Oops, hindi ito tama." Wala naman, di ba? Basta tinignan lang anong grade mo, anong rating mo. Yun lang naman. So, it's useless.
Well, I can't comment about that for things I cannot tell right now while we are recording, but I can't comment about that.
You know,
Yeah, for those who are listening and balak nilang maging teacher, these are the things
yes.
you'll be facing.
Ang sabi nga nila, teacher, reklamador yan eh. But then, teachers are really complaining on things like this. But then, you need to do your work.
Yeah. You complain, you work. At the same time, it's not
And
complaining.
this is my point again, my work is to teach.
Yeah. It's not complaining per se. But then, if you say, ano ba yung quote na, if you let, and it's not evil, hindi naman evil yung nangyari, but just quoting something that if you mum on something you saw that is evil, you are with the evil, you are with the devil. What I'm trying to say here is that things like this, or say, opinions like this comes out so that we can improve the organization. There's nothing wrong about it. So, again, if it so happened that there are some higher ranking people listening to this, this is not to bring down the organization. We are doing our job. We follow your orders. We are just idiots saying idiotic things here and trying to help other people who wants to join the family, diba? So again, let's move to let's get out of depth.
Baka Madam Damakit explain in 24 hours.
I'm hoping it's not.
A memo will come.
Explain in 24 hours. Why this is well. Anyway, again, we invite you to listen to us from week to week. I'll be having a conversation with Jan Irvin, and we will be talking about a lot of things. Yung sad thing happened last week, yung namatay si former president, right? Yung anghel ngayon. I don't know about that, but then so I posted something there.
Yes.
And I'm going to say it right now because I'm not going to say a joke right now. I'm not going to say a joke like that. Supposed to be kasi nga patay yung tao eh. And I didn't post anything politics or well, we are not people who are good in politics or who studies politics, but then we just observe. Magpo-post din sana ako doon, but then I stopped myself from posting. And then nakita ko yung news about Drilon. Telling that the death of Aquino will reshape the election in 2022. So now that they posted something like that, so I posted that Chris Aquino will become the president.
Oh.
And employing the logic of Clyde there, when Ninoy Aquino died, the wife who has no experience in politics whatsoever, no experience in leadership, that's important, leadership, won the election. And when Cory died, the son, who is in politics, totally different division, legislative, and I don't know if
has no track record actually.
yeah, and I don't know if he ever tried holding an executive office. Did he? Governor.
None.
So diretsong congressman, di ba? And then went to executive, won because of the death of her mother, and now that he's dead, there's a possibility. That is just a joke, yung Chris Aquino. But then there's a possibility that an Aquino, say for example, Bam Aquino, will hold.
It
an
might be
office.
because when you see the
No. My question to you is because you're well versed in these things than me. My question is, what is your view with those things happening? What is your view on the education of people voting in the country? Is it with those things that happened? Did it change? Is it improving our knowledge of choosing our leaders in this country?
there is a twist. I think in the entire world.
Yeah.
You see what happened to the Democrats in US when Trump won the election because they are
Looking for something new, right?
yun ang nangyari. So, pero natuto ang mga Amerikano sa atin when Duterte won the election. Ganito lang kasi yan eh. Sawa na ang mga tao because in the Philippines, it's a politics of image, not track record.
No track record, not experience. It's about how popular you are.
Yeah. And then we will see if really we got matured, if the endorsement from the Liberal Party, or what may be the result.
Will gain traction.
Yeah.
Especially with these things that happen. Yeah.
And if we are going to look on what happens sa EDSA revolution, you brainwash the NCR.
Yeah.
It seems you brainwashed already the whole country.
Yeah, if you have a hold in the center of economics in like what you said NCR, it would seem that
because,
you have a hold in the entire country.
When during the Marcos regime, not the whole country, they are not revolting eh.
Yeah.
It's only NCR who
I don't know about
revolted.
that.
Though
You're the experts
we
who
have,
tell me,
we have rebellions here and there, but then those are controlled except for the a protest happening in NCR that eventually made Cory a president. But if you are going to look on the archives, on ano ba kasi ang nangyari doon? The use of media. Ang ginagawa ng ilang mga media networks ngayon. Like, for example, TV5, Inquirer, things like that. Imagine that, kailan namatay si Aquino?
Sino Aquino?
Si
the
Noynoy.
recent one.
The recent one. Hanggang ngayon ba naman, everyday, lahat ng after the proceedings ng burial from death to burial of Noynoy, and then kinabukasan, meron ng interview dyan sa Yaya, and then afterwards, yung kwento ng driver,
yung photographer,
kwento ng photographer, kwento ng aso, and so on. Hanggang ngayon, tingnan mo mamaya, meron pa rin. TV5 yan, ha?
One of the reasons why I don't watch news, why I don't watch TV.
No, I'm actually entertained when I watch news on politics, no? Kasi ganito pala ang ginagawa ng mga media network. Maybe tama yung sinabi ng Duterte na bayaran ang mga ito. Kasi they are trying to cultivate or they're trying to play with the minds of the people on bringing back the old days.
I would agree with you na parang ganun nga. Kasi if you also, I follow politics but not here. I follow the politics of America. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Pinoy po ako, pero I am also entertained with their politics. Watch Fox News, totally Republican, right? So, most of their things are about, and then CNN is Democrats or are Democrats, so all are against Trump. Lahat against Trump. Now, look at Biden. Medyo kabaw na nga eh. Getting senile. And there are things that when you listen to him speak, parang nawawala siya. And the CNN news outlets won't release anything that will or hindi sila nagre-release ng negative comment about their president right now. So, you're right when you say that napakaraming or napakalaki ang influence ng media in terms of choosing a leader. That's why actually in America ang pinakasikat doon is podcasting. Sumisikat yung podcasting.
Of which,
yeah,
here in the Philippines,
nobody talks about nobody.
No, it's like this.
Yeah.
Panfilo Lacson is trying to discredit the individual
Media
medias.
Why is that?
Because he knows na kapag dadami ang mga podcast, ang mga Facebook user live something, magkakaroon ng multi-angle ang opinion eh.
And if you're going to ask me, I would rather choose an individual media outlet or something like this, a podcast, to listen to. Why? Wala silang agenda.
Oo.
As compared to, because if you go to a giant network, you have to pay the time slot, right?
Yeah.
And if you are a local politician na wala kang pambayad, or I mean, a small politician na wala kang pambayad ng time slot, yun ang yun ang nagpo-force ng corruption sometimes.
That is what they are doing actually now. They are discrediting these individual medias so that they will retain their
influence.
The influence sa mga multi-million media networks.
And by the way, this podcast has nothing to do. This is not a news outlet. This is just a conversation among two people, and we don't claim to be knowledgeable of everything we're saying. We're just having coffee, eating snacks, and but then yun ang at the same time
that is how we perceive the actions of these politicians, no? So
nung nagsara,
hindi lang tayo ang may ganitong opinion, alam ko. That is the reason why Panfilo Lacson opened the idea of the administration coming up with troll farms.
Really?
Yes. That is just to discredit the social media, the podcast, so that they can manipulate the mainstream media.
I never heard about this. Yeah.
No, but, well, yung mga taong may konting saltik lang kasi ang nakakakita ng puntos.
Yeah, I never heard about this, by the way. Well, one thing is, I don't know if it's popular in Manila, but podcasting in the country is not so popular. It's not gaining traction. What is gaining traction in the Philippines is TikTok, blogging or vlogging.
Yeah.
And those doing funny things. And then if you look at it, the views are, big.
Purely entertainment.
It's purely entertainment. One of the culture na hindi natin maano sometimes that it needs to be corrected is that sometimes Filipinos forgets easily, right?
Yes.
So it's one of my worries. Biggest blunder of the former leader is the SAF 44, right?
In Yolanda.
No, I would still take SAF 44. I would still take SAF 44 because Yolanda, it's I would say it's the inability to lead. It's one of it.
No, it's like this. If we speak much of Yolanda, we will be able to measure those who are eyeing for those who are eyeing for the presidency.
During the time of Yolanda.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we can see how they act during a crisis.
Okay, let's start.
Yeah,
Yolanda,
Panfilo Lacson,
Panfilo
the
Lacson,
Tsar niya, what do you call that?
Restoration Tsar
Yeah,
or something. I don't know.
Restoration Tsar. Si Manny Pacquiao. What did Manny Pacquiao do during the Yolanda?
I'm not sure if but what did Manny Pacquiao do?
Let's see first the other candidates.
Yeah.
Bongbong Marcos.
Okay.
You see?
Is he running for president?
Maybe, maybe not. Sara.
Oh, Sarah.
Sara Duterte.
Okay.
Bongo.
The eight, right?
Oh,
So there are
Binay.
5 of them. Binay. Is Rojas running for
Well,
president?
Rojas said, we do not know with LP, but I think LP will be endorsing Manny Pacquiao. Or Isko Moreno.
LP?
Yes.
Is
Isang
it?
bayan. They do not have a credible candidate, my goodness. Pangilinan will run.
No.
Oh, Vilma Santos.
Robredo.
Robredo?
How about her?
I think Robredo is trying to work out his residency in Naga. She is running for governor daw. But let's see.
And okay, now let's take a look at them one by one. Did Panfilo Lacson do or contributed in the restoration of
Well, yes. The
Yes.
very iconic
Housing.
housing project. Alam mo ba yung housing project ng Yolanda?
No, I didn't.
Kawayan House.
Yeah, I think now looking back at it, I think ang title niya Housing Star ba?
Yes, housing star.
Housing Star. Okay, we got it. So
The Kawayan is worth, I think, nearly 2 million, something like that. I don't know if I'm correct, if my information is
pero
correct.
mahal ang kawayan doon.
Maybe.
Hindi kasi nga nabagyo. Okay, so
And the housing project or the restoration for Yolanda is ongoing now.
until now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think,
to think that Yolanda happened like 10 years
yeah.
ago, that is too slow for me. And something really is wrong with the
And
rehabilitation.
I think much of the fund of the government and the nations,
Are missing.
no, it's not missing, but utilized during those times.
Is it?
Well, that's according to the report.
According and COA never questioned it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the problem with COA.
Who are the names that you mentioned? Okay, so Panfilo Lacson,
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao. Okay, now, what did Manny Pacquiao do during that Yolanda?
It's missing in action.
Okay, he's not there.
Oh, he donated because after the Yolanda, he won a fight. He donated much of
The
his
money.
winning that the BIR commissioner took an advantage by suing Manny Pacquiao because of, tax.
So
Because when you donate,
Mhm.
you should have a tax, something like that.
Oh, really?
Hinares, Commissioner Hinares.
There are a lot of things I don't know about government, So you're enlightening me here. And then who's the next one?
Let's say Bongbong Marcos.
Oh, Bongbong Marcos. What did he do during that Yolanda
You know,
period?
well, I'm not saying I'm pro Bongbong, no?
Okay.
But then, a very clear interview of him saying, dapat ang ayuda during this kind of calamity, walang pila. You flew in an helicopter, tinag mo lang nga kasi dagita damakan.
Would that be good or it would create?
You see what happened during the Yolanda? Pinagpipila mo ang gutom ng 1 kilometro.
No, but then kapag ihahagis mo lang
Ihahagis mo yan. It's very...
hindi rin ba mag-aagawan yung mga tao?
Mag-aagawan yan, of
Chaos
course,
also.
kasi gutom. But then, kung nabusog na yan, posible naman hindi niya ibibigay sa kapitbahay o sa kakilala. And we Filipinos are like that. Maybe there are some that are...
Hindi kasi baka ala nata ila ko na nga eh. There are people who would do that, right?
In chaos like that, I think may mga taong ganon, pero karamihan siguro sa ating mga Pilipino, uunahin natin ang kagutuman natin.
Yeah, and then after which we are going to share, right?
Yes.
Really?
I think so.
I wouldn't know also, but then maybe. We still have trust to humanity nga ako nada.
Oh.
And then, Bong, so you are leaning more on Bongbong Marcos.
No.
In terms of, no, with all the people that you have.
What I saw.
Yeah.
You know? And then, do you still remember Martin Romualdez? I think, the brother of Martin, I think the mayor of Tacloban, pleading for help.
Is that the guy who said, who claims that Mar said, you have to remember that the president is an Aquino and you are
yes,
Romualdez.
Yes, that one.
Mayor.
You see what happened?
Yun ang naaalala ko. That people are asking help.
And then
sasabihin niya, nawalan din ako.
Oo.
I don't know if that's true. If he was the one being talked about in a show like this, a 20-minute show, unlike this, which can stand to 3 hours. Pero yun ang pinag-uusapan dun na ibagbaga na ka nung naawa na anak mo. And it's something like, something to the effect of, he left his mayoralship seat to focus more on himself during that calamity. Which is, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's the one being talked about during the time.
The issue there was that the house of that Romualdez and then the town hall, I think, was devastated.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you are in such position, you cannot act.
Yeah.
You need to save first yourself.
Understandable, yeah.
Diba? But after that, he is pleading for help. But the answer was that you need to remember that the
I'm
president
not
is
also
Aquino.
sure of the protocol. Kasi nga, sabi nila is that do you have to relinquish your post and then let the national, bakit para bang parliamentary is parang US na,
Why would
di
you
ba the national government still has the say? Especially during that time na calamity.
No. I think the protocol is that the national government should listen to the local government during such crisis.
Especially na mas alam nung taga-local, ano?
Oh, yes. That not unless the local government cannot function well.
Yeah. Ano ba kasi yung kwento doon? Parang you have to acknowledge the presence?
No, it's like this. It is a dire situation. Yet, we are mixing politics on it.
Because that's how they grew up.
Yeah.
Those people who are saying that grew up in politics. Remember, the father is a former president, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not the father,
The
the
uncle.
grandfather. No, the grandfather, I guess, of the person saying, you
Of
have to remember,
Rojas.
of
The
Rojas.
father.
And then, so, with everything, I don't know, with everything they do, I think it involves politics. Like yung, if that's true, yung iinom ka na gamit mo yung, those are all aesthetics to make you look good, di ba? So, alam na nila, I think it's innate in them.
Yes. And these are the situations na nagbigay sa mga tao, sa mga Pilipino na, enough is enough.
Yeah, there really is a change.
Yeah.
Asking you about because right now, the leadership of the current president, what can you say about it?
I would say the direct effect sa atin, no?
Yeah.
I think I was able to feel it, the initiative of this administration. Though it's little,
As
but
compared
then,
to other people, or the former ones.
well, maybe they have other areas of concern, kaya hindi na. But in education, let us see our MOOE.
Okay.
The very small school like
Your school.
my school. From I entered there 50,000
50,000 ang imo
per year.
per year, yeah.
And then ngayon nasa 150,000. So, yung downloading ng funds meron. May effect.
Yeah.
And then infrastructure.
Yeah.
we can feel na the infrastructure is fast.
I have no question about the leadership per se. Well, like what you said, we can feel the effect, right? The thing here is maybe that's what makes him human. The way he speaks, the way
And then,
everything.
you see this leader
Yeah,
who do not blame somebody.
yeah.
Who do not blame a former president for doing that and for doing this.
And blaming the ground commander
Oh,
for
the ground-
something that happened.
Yeah.
That he has the complete hand on it because he let his friend who was
Those
suspended.
things. Yeah, those
Yeah, I
things.
can say these things because I read.
And then, he even questioned his supporters. Like Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Like the other secretaries that he let it go.
What can you say about what's happening right now? Ang ano ko is because actually something fishy is really going on in the Department of Health. Not saying I have an evidence. Allegedly, something really. Yeah, and
You're
why is
listening to Pacquiao, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm not listening. But
It's like this.
I'm looking at the track record of the person holding that office right now. Came from PhilHealth, and that's when that thing in PhilHealth became, it
No.
boomed and it
You
is now.
question Secretary Doke. Well, I adore Secretary Doke, right?
Maybe
It's
yeah.
like this.
I'm questioning the leadership.
I
actually.
adore Secretary Duque because he is the only health secretary who was able to work with 3 former presidents.
Okay, when
Starting with Erap
Okay,
until Digong.
okay.
So, palipat-lipat lang siya.
Ah,
So, alam niya na, gamay na niya ang situation. No, there are a lot of investigations, there are a lot of, allegations, but nobody can prove it.
but do you remember the saying that if there's a smoke, there's a fire?
Yeah, there is. There is always a smoke because if you are holding
Yeah,
a very...
and let's just put it in a way that
No, it's like this. Department of Health kasi, kailanman yan, hindi nakahawak yan ng malaking pera.
okay.
Ngayon lang yan nakahawak ng malaking funding.
During this pandemic, right?
Yeah, because of the pandemic. So,
Yeah.
maraming usok talaga dyan.
But why is it that there are some doctors questioning, especially so during the past months, questioning the leadership?
Because those doctors are playing with politics.
Okay. And I am also questioning, especially yung pinag-usapan natin kanina in terms of the thing, ivermectin thing. And if I am, or it's not, unfortunately it's not me, I would work on how to fast track because there's
No, I think it's like this. The government already laid a foundation on regulations and processes.
Yeah, okay.
So, the health secretary cannot go
But
away
this
with that
is-
because that is...
No, but this is an emergency.
It is really...
Funds were diverted during this emergency and we have that Bainihan things.
But that is not their strategy. I think they have a strategy to follow and nobody can act
Because-
on it.
Do you know the Delta variant?
Oh.
Diba? Nung Delta variant sa India. Actually was cured because of ivermectin. I'm not lying. I'm not
No.
I'm not sure of this, but I heard a doctor said this one. And
Maybe for me it's like this. Why do we need to look for those kind of medications when Philippines already made
what?
a treatment for COVID?
What is that?
It's coconut oil.
I'm not sure about that.
That they are actually finalizing the study
Yeah, but the study on ivermectin is already here.
on Filipinos.
I'm not sure.
Ivermectin is a study abroad.
Yeah.
And-
But it worked in Mexico. Again, the government of Mexico is not allowing it, but it worked in
but
Mexico.
it's like this. Let us priority on what we have developed already. Let us prioritize what we have developed already.
But are we prioritizing it or are we prioritizing on vaccinations?
Vaccination is the priority now.
Yeah.
But then, I think by this time they were able to come up now with the virgin coconut oil.
Virgin?
They are just They're just
Ano ba
coming
yung-
up with the study.
Palagi ko naririnig yung virgin coconut. What? What's that virgin?
It's an oil extracted from coconut.
So, pag naturally, what? Virgin coconut oil is
From coconut.
naturally extracted?
Yeah.
Yun ang virgin.
Yeah, but then, di ba yung oil ng coconut na alam natin is parang white.
Ah.
Yung virgin coconut oil, it's like water.
So, ibig
It's
sabihin, processed yun.
Processed, yeah.
Ah,
Yung kaya nga sinasabi nila na ang hindi ko lang alam, a study or a comparative study on people who have a diet ng coconut, baka hindi sila naapektuhan ng COVID.
COVID.
So, let's wait on that. But I think let us not focus much
Yan ang hindi ko
on
narinig.
study,
Yeah.
on medications that was,
Because ang
studied
ano,
abroad.
ang ano sa yun, going back again to ivermectin is that it won a Nobel Prize in 2015, di ba? Because it is accordingly a gamot na has a very little side effect. May isang village sa Africa na they're suffering blindness because of a parasite.
Yeah, for parasites.
So, pag 40 years old sila and then lahat ng mga 40 years old nagiging blind. And then ivermectin eradicated that. And then it was found out that it is not only it's not for parasitical viruses. It can also cure this new SARS-CoV-2. And then, I don't know.
No.
Even yung pharmacy na gumagawa ng ivermectin will not, because naglabas ang US ng na $3 billion for those who can create a new drug that will cure. So, ang sinasabi ng mga doctors na to is that there's a big money in it.
Possible. But then, it's like this. There is a study on ivermectin. There are side effects.
Yeah, but very little. Yung you will feel
No.
nauseous.
No,
Yun
no,
lang
no.
naman daw.
No. There are side effects. Overdose of ivermectin may lead to kidney failure, pancreatic problems.
I'm not sure about that.
There is, I'm reading,
Pero,
I'm
mas,
reading a DOH report stating such thing.
DOH is from
Department of Health.
yeah, and they're following WHO, and WHO does not approve of ivermectin.
Yeah.
And WHO is an organization easily manipulated, especially there was an interview na sinabi ng isang taga-media. What can you say about the response of Taiwan on this COVID pandemic? And then they turned off the cam, and then they went back, and then let's proceed. China is doing good. They will not even recognize Taiwan as a country because they are afraid that the
Chinese
support
government.
from the Chinese government will be removed.
Yes,
So,
yes.
when we talk about things being proposed by WHO, something is really fishing sometimes, and I cannot blame our government. We are from a third world country, and WHO is like the leading
No.
authority
We
when
need
it
to
comes
follow.
to health.
We need-
That's why we need to follow them.
We need to follow WHO because we do not have the capacity to make our own
Exactly.
drugs. Secondly, we are receiving much donation of vaccines
From them.
from
Yeah.
them. So, well, we are tied.
But then, yun nga yung ano ko na, maybe
And
masyadong mabait ang mga Filipino
No,
na
it's
walang
like this.
gumamit ng ganun.
It's like this kasi it's very obvious that the most effective strategy is on the strategy is not really on vaccination but then on hygiene, on pag-iiwas.
Yeah. So it's avoidable, so to
yes.
speak. Yeah.
So we do not need to spend much funds or much
Yeah.
money if we, the people, will just follow those simple protocols.
Yeah. Face shields.
Yeah.
I hate that. I really hate it.
Sometimes kasi,
Tayo lang ang country na gumagamit ng face shield actually.
of which it might be saving us more money.
I don't know about that. Don't know about that because, well, the mask is enough. Not sure about the face shield.
Yeah, na. We are the only country that they criticize of using face shield. That we Filipinos criticize ourselves by using face shield. But then, we are not comparing enough why this country using face shield does have a very little COVID-19 case.
I would like to compare it to the state of Texas, wherein mask is not even required right now. State of Florida.
It's like this.
Na bakit bumaba yung case nila wherein they are already partying in Florida.
Yeah, it's like this.
And ang population ng Florida is, the demography is more on elder people kasi nga vacation state daw yan. Yeah.
It's like this. They have advanced health system.
Maybe, yeah.
Tayo, maybe, tayo lang ata sa Cordillera ang may mga ospital sa bawat probinsya eh.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to other provinces, wala pa nga sila. Like, city of Davao.
Yeah, point na
Lahat.
sometimes if we let our people loose, kumbaga, baka ma-overwhelm yung hospital. Right.
Yun ang ano doon. But if we are going to compare ourselves with, let's say, Italy, our population is nearly the same.
Yeah. And take note, according to the podcast, I heard bumababa rin yung case sa Italy because of ivermectin.
Maybe yes.
This podcast is it's sponsored by ivermectin.
Maybe
Just
yes.
kidding.
Maybe yes. But then, number of cases in Italy, dami. We have the same. They have slums like us.
Yeah.
So, why do we criticize much sa ating pandemic response? Now, we are doing good. It's only we Filipinos who says we are not doing good.
We are doing good, maybe. Are we? Are we?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Considering our, economy, our health system, we are actually in shambles before pre-pandemic pa lang. But then, come pandemic, nakayanan naman nating mairaos eh.
Yeah, in places like our area, right? But in some places, medyo marami ng,
Marami pa rin, but then at least we are doing better than other countries.
Maybe. And because of
the people.
And the effectiveness of the protocol, you say?
Maybe they are following the protocols.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe people are following protocols. Because if you can see in other countries, when you see, the videos in other countries, they don't wear that much face shield. Dito sa atin,
which affected, I think, India greatly, right? And that created the Delta variant. The thing is, it's treatable. It's treatable with ivermectin.
It's like this.
I'm just kidding.
With or without ivermectin,
Yeah.
the death rate is very...
Yeah, just to talk about that.
Yeah, the death rate is very...
As compared to...
dengue.
Yeah. So, it's like what you're trying to say here is that it's not that deadly. Because the expectation when this thing came out new,
It's very deadly.
Kas lang nga nangilaw ti tao nga matay nga matinag da amin nga ikat. Kas lang nga nag-spray ka nga ikat matinag amin nga tao ay ngilaw.
Yes.
Kas lang nga kasi expectation, di ba? And then it happened. If you are going to look at the death rate, though not discrediting yung mga taong namatay because of COVID, but then as compared to the death rate.
Ang sa akin lang kasi, di ba kung nagkatrangkaso ka ng 3 days,
And trangkaso ko, dead limit lang, di ba?
diba? Yung simple na trangkaso ka ng 3 days, parang ang dami nang nawala sa'yo. Eh, ang COVID, magkakasakit ka ng 1 buwan. Kahit hindi ka mamamatay, ang daming mawawala sa'yo.
Well, especially if you have comorbidities. Well, maybe. Yeah, but...
So, ang sabi ko, maybe it's a way, nagpapasalamat nga din tayo sa pandemic eh. At least na tignan natin ang capacity ng healthcare natin.
Right? Good things came out of it.
And because of
Parang
that,
nag-reset ang mundo.
yeah, and because of that, Philippines, I think, if the plans will continue, will come up with technologies, with institutions that will make our own medicine. Because most of the medicine distributed in the Philippines came from India.
Iso mo ti pinaka-cheap gamin ako.
Yes. So I think the government now is trying to make an institution that will provide
It's a very important
such thing.
A very important measure to be. And then at the same time, it is high time to craft a pandemic response act, which was actually proposed by my favorite senator a long time ago, Miriam Santiago. Yeah, but then did not gain traction in the Senate. I hope this time. It's high time kasi, di ba, as you were saying, napakagulo. Yung first na medyo hindi na nagkakaintindihan ang... Kasi biruin mo maglalabas ang IATF ng ganitong guidelines and then you come to that place ngayon, especially my case na I'm traveling. Medyo ngay, I'm coming to... Akala ko ba GCQ parehas tayo ng... Ay hindi, dito sa munisipyong ito. Medyo ngay maulaw ka, medyo maasar ka, especially na alam mo naman sa sarili mo, takot ka rin sa virus and you don't like to get infected. So you're like observing the protocols and then...
Even if we have allowed such thing, if there is no equality as a local government unit, some local government can afford to build their hospital or things like that, and other local governments cannot.
Yeah,
there will always be a restriction like that.
Yeah, one of the reason of the restriction. Maybe understand that, but then it is what I'm trying to point out here is that because there was no what do you call that one, the Pandemic Response Act. There was no response about how we are going to deal with the pandemic if a pandemic happens. Sometimes the guidelines, because you're trying to understand that the guidelines, here's the national guidelines, and you're hoping that in all places it will be the same. And then suddenly you go to a place na, and then it's different. You know the confusion that it will create, especially for travelers and things like that. Yun lang naman ang point ko doon na,
Katulad,
we are law-abiding citizens, but then
it's like what's happening with Mankayan and Cervantes.
Exactly.
The people from Cervantes
are allowed to come here.
Yes, but the people from Mankayan,
maungtan ka pa eh.
Yes, cannot go in.
Yeah, and I want to share this one to whoever is listening from Cervantes PNP. Huwag naman ganun. And I know this story. It happened. And so my grandfather in that place died. So people went. And then adang artidalan ijay. Well, it's their job. They went to, because they're looking for antigen test result for those who are coming in, and then hindi yata na-follow, and I admit that hindi na-follow yon. And isipin natin namatay na yung tao. Namatayan sila, so I understand na they want to go and see the person for the last time. And then they went na nag-check sila, and then now they went to check, and then nakakainom da. That is the statement. And allegedly, nakainom da. And then at the same time, hindi pagpanawon da nagijay tao, pumanaw nagijay awan ti antigen test na, adapay ti may isang pulis nga nagkarit. So, allegedly, nagkarit.
It's like this. Traders from Cervantes may come and go as they wish. But traders from Mankayan cannot enter.
You're having a hard time. Well, what I'm sharing this story just to remind that come on, you're doing your job, I understand, but let's do it properly. You are in power, we understand that. You wield much power, and if all those allegations are true, shame on you. If those allegations are not true, then I apologize. That's what I'm trying to say here. Let's do it professionally, not like that. Magkakababayan tayong lahat dito. So Yun lang naman. And I'm not saying that that happened really. I'm saying it's alleged that that happened. And please, let's respect each other sometimes. And well, I understand na siguro na-trigger sila kasi nga, well, people did not follow their protocols. And you're right when you said that parang it's questionable na...
One more thing. May namatay dito na matanda, taga Cervantes, no? Pero dito na tumira.
Yeah.
Yung son niya nandun sa some part of Ilocos Sur.
Yeah.
So, nung pumunta siya dito, gamit pa ang municipal vehicle ng isang munisipyo doon sa Ilocos Sur.
Wow.
Hindi siya pinapasok dito sa Bangkayan.
Okay.
Because it's according to the governor of Ilocos Sur.
Bawal silang
Oo.
lumabas.
So, bumalik yung sasakyan, tapos yung bigas, yung karga na nga bagas, iuray na kumata, isabat da lang.
Yeah.
Ijay boundary, no?
Yeah.
Hindi pinapasok.
Okay.
Imagine that. Yung rice, kahit hindi mo papasukin yung tao, okay, that's the regulation. Let's follow it. Pero yung bigas na
Hindi pinapasok or hindi pinalabas?
hindi pinapasok dito. Hindi pinalabas sa Ilocos Sur yung bigas.
So it means that it's their guidelines, not ours.
Yes, it's their guidelines.
It's their guidelines.
So, ang question doon, ano bang meron sa bakit ayaw papasukin yung bigas dito sa Bangkayan?
Hindi kasi naka-face mask yung bigas.
Ayun nga eh. So, kawawa naman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel for that.
Ang kilapay pimanje tao nga mang isubliman ng isay bagas isay ilida. So sabi ko, those kinds of...
Those will be mitigated if there is a pandemic response act na parang may di ba? May establish. Because
or it's like this, whether meron man yan o wala, yung common sense ba nang nag-implement?
Yeah, the humanity of the person. I don't know if because they're given much power these days, nagpa-power trip din sila ngayon.
Oo.
Maybe I'm not sure. Allegedly, maybe ganon. But then I'm hoping that that will be corrected because we are all human. We make mistakes and that will be corrected para happy tayong lahat.
Ayun nga eh. So, this is what I am saying na during this pandemic, dami nating natutunan. And dami nating mga reactions that will eventually let us grow.
Hopefully.
It would make us a better individual.
Yeah, exactly. And we are not born with all the knowledge in the world. We explore, we learn through our mistakes and through our experience. And people like my previous episode with the pastor, that people change, right, for better. Not sometimes for worse, but for better. Most of us do change. We learn from our mistakes, and those mistakes that we are talking about, I know that that will be improved, and of course, we will also improve as human. And because we've been talking already for like 1 hour and 36 minutes, I think we will end this here. Thank you so much, and Jan Irvin Kis-ing, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.